Welcome to my show, simply entitled Women Influencers. I am Veronica Malalas, CCIM, founder and CEO of the Capstack Group of Companies, specializing in commercial real estate brokerage, development, and commercial property management in the greater Orlando area. This week, we have the sixth installment of the compiled questions that my guests have asked me in the past. Here are clips from the episodes of Christina Balas, Jazmen Johnson, and Vicki Stecher. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe below. I welcome your comments and please share with someone who can benefit from this podcast.
So, Veronica, as I've gotten to know you, the thing that stuck out to me that I want to know is, where did your guts come from? So when I say that, I know that you jumped into the commercial real estate industry. I know that you started your own company. I know that you launched this podcast, but where along your path did you find those guts to do those things?
Well, great question. And thank you for asking. I'll tell you that I found my guts through my support system. I think that it's very interesting with the immigrant families that when we come to a country where we don't know anybody, we don't have community, we're just starting out, where everybody else went to school together, have really strong ties with people who are already successful, right? As an immigrant, myself and my family, we really knew how to build community within our own families first. And so when I got the opportunity to do commercial real estate, my first thing was to ask my husband if it was okay. If it's okay that he can expect that I probably won't be contributing to our financial well-being for maybe a couple of years. And because he gave me the confidence and said, I support your dreams, I will support whatever it is that you decide to do, I think that really mattered. And so my guts really come from my support system. I mean, come on, I have this great sense of adventure like you, and I want to do a lot of things, but I don't really want to take risks that would harm the people around me, especially my family. And so that's really where the guts come from. It's just from having a good support system. And, it made me think about the disadvantaged families, how they don't have a support system like that. And so it's so important for someone who may be disadvantaged in that way to go out and seek mentors and create this support system that otherwise they would not naturally have.
So, Veronica, have you ever experienced pressure to conform to a certain expectation or norms in your professional role, particularly this idea of playing the game for success? And if so, how have you navigated the pressure while staying true to your authentic self?
What a great question. And I'm sure that the younger folks who are listening have probably asked themselves that same question. I remember when I just started volunteering at some real high-level boards, I thought to myself, well, I better play it safe because I don't want to be kicked out, or I don't want to be criticized, or I don't want to be the one that ruffles feathers. But then I found out that when I was true to myself and contributed, so I focused on my contribution rather than the stigma of being new at the table. And I always told myself, you know what? They invited me here for a reason. And if I just shut up and don't say anything and conformed and also agreed with everybody, I'm wasting my time and I'm certainly wasting theirs. So I think it's important that you have a mindset that you are enough. And I love that, Jazmen. I'm going to coin that because there is a reason why you got invited. Somebody opened the door for you. They want your ideas. They certainly know that you are enough. And so I've made it sort of my own mantra where I would make sure that I'm well prepared when I'm in a group with very high-powered individuals, and make sure that I come across as someone who's willing to contribute and to show actually my talent and not really worry too much about what they thought of me. Because again, I have to remind myself that there's a reason why I got invited at the table. So I hope that that actually would help others who are listening today to make sure that as I tie in your advice, you are enough and it's okay not to conform, but always be a contributor because they will appreciate that.
What are some exciting opportunities do you see coming as an offering and on the horizon for startups, businesses in the real estate world? What can the real estate world offer to new startups that don't want to go all in, but yet they know they need a place?
Sure. And thank you for the question. I really appreciate that. Since COVID, I think a lot of startups were born in their kitchens, in their living rooms, in their bedrooms. A lot of ideas, creative people actually out of necessity built a business. And I think that at some point, when you become successful as a startup in your garage or your kitchen or your living room or your bedroom, there comes a point where you're going to need to establish presence in a particular market area. And that's where, for instance, myself or any other commercial real estate practitioner could be a valuable partner in making sure that you establish a footing in that particular target area. So you and I both know that building a business, and of course, getting into commercial real estate space, which now requires overhead, is a very complex stage of someone's business. And so you will need, for instance, a consultant or someone who you trust that will be able to guide you through that process. Because there are many things out there that would be complex for a startup or a business owner to actually try to manipulate or to overcome because they do not have that experience behind them. So that would be the answer to your question. I think that there's going to be a lot of startups that will be successful just because of the pure grit and their determination and commitment to building a successful business and career. And at some point, they will be going out there and seeking commercial real estate space. So please, my advice would be that for any startup who's listening, hire yourself someone you can trust who is a professional in the commercial real estate field.